What's going down, everyone? Brother Captain Stefani is here. So I'm going to be doing a new video series on Warhammer 40,000 3rd edition, just basically having a look at some of the books that were available. This will be my first video of the series. It's basically just an outline to cover what we'll be discussing and moving forward with, the books that we have. And then what I'll do is I'll go through and we'll probably do the main rulebook in this video, and then I'll go through and I'll do the Blood Angels Codex, the Space Marine Codex, and also we have the Angels of Death Codex, which Matt has been so gracious to give to us, lend to us for review on the channel. So Warhammer 40,000 3rd edition was quite a unique edition. It was the first edition, I feel, that set the standards and the staple for everything that pretty much we're playing now. Beforehand, so Rogue Trader was more of a role-playing game. Then 2nd edition was a tabletop game, but it was more focused on sort of micromanaging individual units than big armies. And in 3rd edition, 40k became a lot more streamlined from 2nd edition, and they made it more about wide-scale army combat and less about micromanaging sort of pockets of units. So 2nd edition was like, okay, here's your unit and you get them to fight. 3rd edition was basically more like, okay, that unit you had before in 2nd edition is now a unit of 10-man squad of tactical marines, essentially, right? So it was the 1st edition where we really harnessed the power of squads. The phases were more streamlined as well. So we went to a 3-phase streamlined system for the phases. And it was one of the first editions that brought Black Templar into the light. Black Templar at the time, before 3rd edition, were just mentioned a few times throughout the books. In Rogue Trader and 2nd edition, it was primarily Blood Angels with the striking red and, of course, the poster boy Ultramarines. And I think it was Andy Chambers. But essentially what happened, one of the GW staff, let me know in the comments down below if you know who it was. One of the GW staff basically did a painting, which is this here. They wanted to get the direction of 30k more grim, as we know today, grimdark. And he did this up and he showed the whole studio. They all loved it, and they immediately turfed the Ultramarines off the front cover and put Black Templars on. I believe it was Andy Chambers, but as I said, let me know in the comments if I'm correct or if I'm wrong about that. But yeah, and it sort of really set the tone of the edition and the grim dark aesthetic that's followed throughout. So we'll have a look at this codex in depth a bit later, but just basically wanted to have a chat about it. The Blood Angels Codex, the interesting part about this codex was, so this is actually one that Matt rebought recently. This is my personal copy for when I was a little kid, maybe like 13 years old, 14 years old. I've had this since then, and it stood the test of time. It's a bit tattered, you can see. Now, the original version actually came in like a sleeve, like a hardcover sleeve that you could pop out. But obviously, many, many years ago, I've lost that sleeve now. So, this book, I've carried it through university, through multiple moves, through life, essentially, So it's pretty crazy. And I've always kept it. I lost my Marines Codex, but luckily, once again, Matt has loaned us that right now to review and have a look through. But I always kept this one. And I remember there was a point where I was about to throw it out. I think I was at university or something, maybe 10 years ago, and I was like, I had to clean some room, or I was moving, and I was just like, I don't really need this anymore, and maybe I'll just get rid of it. And but no, I decided to hang on to it, and it was well worth it. But yeah, so that's the core rule book. And Matt's Blood Angels book actually got waterlogged, so his original one. And so we rebought this, so I might buy this new one back off him, and he's going to keep the old one, even though it's got a little bit of water on it. There was a special feature in it, apparently like an FAQ from back in the day that he wanted to hold on to, and he doesn't want to have 2 copies of the book, so that should be pretty cool. And most importantly, which is pretty crazy, this copy here of the Space Marine Codex was signed by Andy Chambers. And that is in pen. It's a legitimate pen signature. Don't know if you can see that, but you can actually see like the little sort of wear lines where the ink has sort of started to come off, and you can see little sparkling parts from the ink as well. So very important book, and we'll be having a look at that in a future video. So this will all be in a playlist. I'll put it up on the channel in a playlist. If we can get more books, so the Dark Eldar Codex or the Tau Codex from 3rd edition or the Demon Hunters, I'll have a look at them for now. And I'll be putting the videos up most likely once every couple of days. So keep checking back, and let me know in the comments as well which book you want to see the first. So, you know, do you want to see the Space Marines one first? Do you want to see the Blood Angels ones first? And we can get a hold of some of the other codexes. So once again, let me know, comments down below, because I could certainly grab a copy of the Tau Codex or whatever. Someone I know will have it somewhere. I've had it in the past where channel subscribers have actually sent me in stuff for review, and then I sent it back to them, so it should be good. So, all right, everyone, I'll get on to the first review of the rulebook, and I will see you in there. Take care.